You're listening to Highly Unique Radio.
What up, Chase?
What's good? What's good?
Yo, everything's good, man. Just ripping and running,
Yeah.
getting the pop going.
Okay. We were just talking about the influence of a person of your stature from the legendary group EPMD and all of that. I know you get that all the time and everything, but we was just discussing it. We also got like my young homie in here, CM.
Yeah, man.
You know, he wasn't from that era, and I'm like the big homie over here. So
I ain't really from there either.
I know, y'all ain't from that, but
get schooled real quick.
So I always try to put him on to what influenced me when I was coming up, because you guys are one of the people that I listened to when I was growing up. I remember going away to like Canada and I had my EPMD tape and Rakim, like, you know what I mean? I was a little shorty. That's what I was on. So, how do you describe what you kind of, how do you view it, what you brought to the game?
Yo, how I view it, what I brought to the game?
Yeah.
Yo, it just came straight from the heart, and it's just interesting to have a dream, and just be from the hood, but to see Grandmaster Flash, to see Run DMC, to see LL Cool J, to see Rakim and Eric B, Slick Rick, and then just get an opportunity. God gives me an opportunity being from Long Island, because Rakim is from Long Island, Chuck D's from Long Island, De La Soul's from Long Island. So we was like, yo, these guys is only like 2 or 3 exits away from us, so it must be our turn. So we put in the effort, and you know how it goes when you're from Long Island. Mostly the 5 boroughs like Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Bronx, they dominate.
Right.
So we felt like we had to work twice as hard, and in the end result, EPMD was able to come out with the dope catalog that they have right now and be the most sampled rap group in hip-hop history.
Word.
Hey, Parish, let me ask you a question, man. This is CM. First of all, it's an honor to have you on our airways, man, right now. I feel like we really getting some knowledge right here, even though we just started with the interview. But I kind of want to get the knowledge.
Chase, I can't hear. Is there any way you could turn your mics up, or is that max?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bet. So I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. I kind of want to take you back, because with the artists that you just named, it kind of sounds like you were talking as far as like the start of hip hop, almost in a sense. So with that being said, give me like the life and times of EPMD before EPMD even like began. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it seemed like at a point now, as far as like, as I view hip hop, everybody wanted to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? But how was it back then when hip hop first started and you guys were trying to break out in the scene? Was it like something that you, along with everybody, wanted to do, or was it just like, yo, like we really feel like we can like break, you know what I'm saying, a barrier with the hip hop culture, you know what I'm saying, with our material? Like, how was it like back in that time?
Yo, that's a great question. Yo, you first of all, back there, you had to be a dope MC. There's no question, hands down. And the crowd decided that, and the hip-hop culture decided that. So you knew if you stepped up and your game wasn't correct, you would know real early, make it or break it. And the special part about the golden era was everybody knew that when they came, they had to come with their original sound. You couldn't come borrowing somebody's sound, or you couldn't come sounding like the next guy. That's why Rakim didn't sound like EPMD. EPMD didn't sound like Slick Rick. Slick Rick didn't sound like Doc's Effect. So those was the time where when you did a show and you grabbed that mic, it was your own people showing up to support you. So you had to come correct. There was no lip syncing, rapping over records and stuff like that. And you had to have a real DJ on the turntables. See, and that's the difference between now. It's like everybody kind of like sounds the same to try to stay in and get that radio play and get those radio spins.
Okay.
So with us being from Long Island, yo, we was a fan of the music. Like when Run DMC would drop an album, we'd be in the mirror with the hats on, no contract, no beats, no rhyme, but with a big heart and belief. And then before you know it, I have an older brother. There's more to the story. He ran with DJ Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation before they even dropped Planet Rock. So I was around it as a teenager. So that's how I knew all the break beats and stuff like that. So once we stepped up, we just came with It's My Thing. You were a customer. And then, boom, the rest was history. They asked us to do the album Tricky Business. Then Run DMC, Russell Simmons called us up. Yo, you want to be on tour? We was like, okay, but we ain't got no money for a tour bus. And then Run DMC, Jam Master Jay was like, don't worry, you can ride on our bus. And that's how we started rolling.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up, man. That's dope. That's dope. This is ATL-ish, man. I got a question. When I first got introduced to hip hop, individuals like Pac and Biggie, Jay-Z, DMX, Fabulous when he was real young, Jadakiss when he was real, all them cats was my introduction. And those in particular, with a few others, were very inspirational artists to a lot of up and coming artists. So when you were up and coming, what artists before you, gave you the inspiration and motivation to drive as hard as you did?
Well, when we didn't have a contract and we was young and a teenage, you had Slick Rick and Ducky come out with Lottie Dottie. We like to party. We don't cause trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was it. And then you had Grandmaster Flash with the message, broken glass everywhere. So these guys was rapping about, what they were seeing when they was in the projects, when they came out their door. So It was real. Then you had Run DMC coming in with Rockbox, and all the albums after that. And then, of course, Rakim. Rakim came from Wyandanch. We came from Brentwood, and Wyandanch is about 3 towns away. So they used to have this big park party every year called Wyandanch Day. And Rakim would just be out there chilling. And the R was the first one with the 190 Benz with the blue top drop. Yo, it was ridiculous. So when you seen that back there as a teenager, that looked like a mini spaceship. And that's where the inspiration started coming in. Right. Yo, how do I get that?
Yeah, word.
It's like what I'm seeing here tonight. It's a certain theme. Because every one of us was introduced into hip hop at a different point, and it's like I feel like we had a meeting, like the hip hop AA meeting. I've been introduced into hip hop.
Different generations, right?
I mean, I've been introduced in
so you got different types of music,
different styles or
swag,
different things influence
vibes.
you. How do you view the new current set of musicians and artists now, and how it has developed and changed? What's your view on that? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think really the new artists, I think the new artists is doing their thing. Like they always tell us, when we was doing our music, regardless how the generation before us felt, nobody would come in the studio and say, hey, Eric and Parish, that you got the chill sound good, but why don't you change the hi-hat? The headbanger or rampage sound good, but why don't you do this different? It wouldn't happen. So these artists of today is just coming from the heart, and you can't knock them. All you could do is just support them. But I will say, let's take Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Look at what's going on in Chicago right now. Look at what's going on in St. Louis. So when the artists could come up with, we're going to be all right, and then the universe grabs it, and then they use that to make themselves feel better and to make a statement, that's like an incredible accomplishment.
Word.
Yeah. So I think these young cats who's doing it right now, they definitely doing it, and they doing it the way they want to do it. But, the only thing they got to be mindful of is there's rules to the game.
You know what?
And they can't see that now. That they won't see that until they get a little older, So we was fortunate to have Chuck D from Public Enemy and the S1Ws around, Jam Master Jay and Russell and them. We had leadership around us. So once we got out of line, perfect example, we'd be on the Run DMC's bus. But then when Eric and I start acting up, we get sent to the Public Enemy bus. Then once we ride with PE and the, and the S1, then next thing you know, we're back on Run's bus. So this generation got it music-wise and business-wise, but they just got to learn a lot more about the world that they live in so they can have more longevity. EPMD is known for, classic back-to-back albums thrown in the CD or the cassette, and every song is banging. You don't have to rewind or fast-forward.
Right.
Word. I feel you on that one.
Who are some of the who are some of your favorite artists right now?
Some of my favorite, J. Cole, just because he stayed true to himself. and where he comes from. All right, Kendrick, he's on the list. You got a lot of dope underground cats too, who's not even on the screen. That's making some dope records because we travel a lot, so we get to hear these guys, and they happy with it. They like, yo, we don't care like we ain't on the radio all day, but yo, our stuff is spinning on the blogs, our stuff is spinning on the net, and radio stations like this. That's all they really concerned about. But the more like high profile cats, I would have to go with J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I got to ask you a question because sitting here just listen to you spit like so much knowledge, it kind of had me thinking about today's hip hop game, and two words came to my mind. The first word that came to my mind is change, and the second word that came to my mind is embrace. The reason why I say that is because I have a hard time, and this is me just like finally figuring it out, like right now as we speak. I finally figured it out. I'm having a hard time, I guess, embracing the new form of hip hop or the new evolution of hip hop because I'm still stuck on the hip hop that I've known in like the late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? And I said that to you because I want to ask you, when was it at your point in your career where you realized that, okay, music is now changing or hip hop is now changing in a certain direction, and I have to embrace what is being given to me now versus what I've done back in the day? Like, how did you embrace that when you were in your career and you saw everything starting to take a shift?
Yo, that's a good question. Well, in 1992, I was real happy with my accomplishment. 4 gold albums back to back. The Hit Squad, the biggest squad of all squads, first squad out there. Redman was doing good. Das EFX was doing good. K Solo was doing good. And basically, there was no one else out at the time. So I was real comfortable with the accomplishment. And it was from what we did, which inspired the next generation. So once I left the game and stepped on the business side, I still was always in the game because then my Sherman, he was out there with the Def Squad. Then you had Redman connecting to Method Man, so then it was Red and Meth with the Wu-Tang. So no matter where we were still close to the constant change. So we had a whole camp around us, and we had young cats around us just letting us know what was going on. And more importantly, if you was a true artist, you know, you didn't want to get caught out there looking like the mad rapper.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if you really true to your art, there's no different than when we was getting busy in that era you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was other cats that was making different music. That's what inspired the crossover. The rap era's out of control. Brothers selling their soul. The going, gone. Another rapper soul. So it was the same thing. But we was out there repping. The problem is, in this generation of music, our generation stopped working and stopped making music and stopped hitting the studio. And then got to the point where, you know, the old school tag was bothering them. When in rock, you know, Mick Jagger's not considered old school. He's about 102, doing about 40 million shows a year. So, you know, the whole point is balance. Like you hear 3 or 4 different opinions in that one control room, yo, we're making progress. Because there's no reason why every generation cannot coincide at the same time. So when the Rolling Stones go out, they will go out with a Kid Rock. When Kid Rock's there, they will have a brand new opening group. But there's 3 different generations on one tour to feed one crowd. And that's where hip-hop kind of fell behind, and now we catching up. Just generation is peeping where we coming from, we peeping where they're coming from. But more importantly, we just trying to hit them with the jewels so they don't make the mistakes that we made. Because if they make the same mistakes we made, then they miss the point.
Right.
Yeah, word.
You know what I mean? You come out with a hit record and you're feeling yourself, then do you. Don't make a hit record, get caught up in the hype, and then next thing you know, you're doing some music that you're not known for, and then you catch a brick and your career's over and you're done off.
Yeah. Seen that plenty of times.
Yep. Catch a brick.
You catch a break right across the head.
Yo, exactly. So, you know, we're still out there on Master of the Ceremonies tour. We're still out there with Slick Rick. We're still out there with Kane, Too Short, Rakim. Still getting it in. Yo, still selling out places. And then, you know, you got to respect the young guys because they can teach you a lot, too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like we work in here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Different generations right in here. Like, and we rock. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is.
Yo, and it's dope because you see y'all taking the initiative. Like, our whole career was based on college radio. Then when the next eras came in, all the music was gone, and then it was just about pop records. But then they seen the game was all messed up, so it's cats like yourself that's putting radio stations together like this, so this generation can communicate with our generation. So you're filling in where college radio left off.
That's what's up. That's dope.
That's dope.
Real dope.
So
that's real talk, man.
Could we ask you, is there anything like new on the horizon that you're doing, or that you could speak of? Any business ventures that you can speak of that you're currently doing in the game, or stuff like that?
Yeah, we're doing a lot out here. We prepare for 2016. Next year is the 25-year anniversary for Business Never Personal with LL Cool J, with Gold Digger, with Kanye did over, and when we introduced Redman to the world. We're also working with some young new cats that's 19, 20, 21 who got some real dope music. And then along with that, the major tours.
Word.
So a lot of people saying, wow, the social media and the technology's taking over and it's not the same. Yo, that's true, but now you got to let it work for you at maximum. So the answer to the question is, yeah, we got a lot of stuff cooking for next year, meaning album-wise, label-wise, distribution-wise. November 30th, you can check out for us on TV One because our Unsung is going to come out on the Unsung Marathon over Thanksgiving holiday. And the reason why I'm so informative, because, yo, man, I came up with a serious pop for Marcy Projects, and he didn't want to hear nothing that had anything to remotely do with an L. So as you young artists are coming up, you cannot put your career in somebody else's hands. It's your job to stay on top of your business so you know what's going on. That's why all our album titles are called business.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
Jules,
dope.
man.
Jules.
Man, we appreciate all the knowledge.
To win. They're the mouthpiece. They're our future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Word.
Man. Hey, what they say? Takes a village?
Yeah.
Takes a village.
Oh, what you say?
A village.
Now, you know they say it takes a village to raise that child.
Oh, what you say?
I got one more question. Because this is a hip hop show. I guess I would safely say that everybody in this room loves hip hop in some way, form, or fashion. Right. So if you had to just like sit down and just, you can say anything about hip hop, or you can say anything to hip hop. Like hip hop is like right in your face. Like, what would be that message that you would say to hip hop right now, being like everything that you went through with the game and the business and the career, everything that tied down to it? What would you say to hip hop if you had a chance to right now?
Oh, what would I say about hip hop?
What would you say to hip hop right now? Like if you had a face to face with hip hop, what would you say to hip hop?
I would thank hip hop for giving me the opportunity to be me. At a time where, just a regular Joe Schmo trying to get on like everybody else. But hip hop gave me the opportunity to express myself and to become a living legend. So that's why I always take the opportunity to give back to the art form. Because in my opinion, hip hop's God. And when God's involved, and if you believe, anything can happen. That's why we sold millions of records, and we're still here, and we're still relevant.
That's dope. That's dope.
So that's what
man.
I would say to hip hop. Thank you.
Cool.
Word.
That actually reminds me of Lupe Fiasco. He got this the joint Hip Hop Saved My Life.
Saved My Life.
Yeah, that joint rocked out. That joint rocked all the way out. So
Yep.
So as far as hip hop and the connection that you have with hip hop, what kind of advice or insight would you give to some of these younger cats that may not necessarily be on the right path?
What I would do, I would say in hindsight, I would say take it day by day and don't try to get ahead of yourself. Okay? Because that's, sometimes when you get in that fast lane, you don't realize you're just a regular dude. Like Jay-Z said, it take a lifetime to do your first album. So when you're a regular dude just chilling, and then you come up with a hit record, and next thing you know, you in Atlanta, and then you in L.A., then you in Chicago, then Europe calling you in the UK, then you in Italy. Yo, you in like 4 or 5 different time zones, so you have to have that one major big word, which is called balance. Because you know with the music how it goes.
Yeah.
The alcohol's flowing, drugs is flowing, chicks is, yo, I'm doing it. Look, Ma, I made it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's your responsibility to remember how you started, where you came from, and how bad you really wanted to get your music out there. So that's what I would tell the young guys, because at the end of the day, if you blow it all or you get stuck with a bad girl, you're going to wish you took the opportunity to get the right chick and maintain your career.
Absolutely. I feel you. That's what's up.
That's real talk.
Yeah. I got one more question.
You see what Charlie Sheen's going through right now, right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Okay.
Crazy. I got one more question. It's been some fuss recently and prior to about I guess white artists, quote unquote, trying to take over, or something to that extent. How do you feel about our creation, our hip hop creation, and what it means, and what it is, and what it stands for, and just in general, whites being involved in that, and even being ranked highly in that?
Well, like I said, I'm a strong believer in, EPMD got blessed because we had all the consecutive golds, all the number ones back to back, but it was always a stretch to get that platinum.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a blessing in disguise, because if we would have went platinum, then we may not got to move at the pace and the speed to learn like we did. So I say that to say this: it doesn't matter who comes in the game, long as the foundation and long as you stay authentic and true to yourself, real hip-hop will always exist.
Mm.
So when you go back to the beginning of the time, you have to start with the Beastie Boys, who was there. You have to start with Third Base, that was there. But they, Beastie Boys came through rocking with Run DMC, rocking with LL Cool J. Third Base came through rocking with Def Jam. And then after our era was gone, Eminem came and just took it to another hemisphere.
Sir. That's Detroit.
But again, long as you keeping it B-boy, long as you keeping it authentic, I don't think this is like about the fast run.
Okay.
To me, it's a 12-round bout, and who's going to be here late in the 12th round.
Mm.
And you know what? If we compare, because it's funny how we always say like rappers want to be athletes and athletes want to be rappers. If we go way back and say Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we say, white artists or white rappers or whoever white want to come into hip hop, change the game of how hip hop, was. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of a sport, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you win it, you got to compete. You know what I'm saying? So for the people that come out, whether you Eminem, Macklemore, and Ryan Lewis, like, if you come with it, it don't matter what color your skin is, as long as you keep it within the rules and in the confines of the sport.
And that's what I've been trying to, tell some people, because they'll just be offended by the whole skin color thing, and it's like,
no.
First of all, this is ours.
Exactly.
And when I say and it's really, I'm really talking about the hip hop heads. This is what we are. So it's like, all right, you got Iggy, Macklemore, all these Machine Gun Kelly.
It's like everybody bring their seasoning to hip hop. That's how I look at it. It's like a seasoning, and because once they bring it in there,
then his manager was like, yo, man, no.
It's a successful business. You have to have a couple of OGs every now and again to make sure that the young cast is cool.
Leadership.
You know what I'm saying? You got to.
Leadership. That's what we was talking about earlier.
On the head. See, hip-hop was so ahead of time, and I was so ahead of my time, that it had to slow up and catch up with itself. That's real talk. So if you notice on the TV, all the old shows are coming on. If you notice when you see the NFL Network, you can see Herschel Walker. You can see Sweetness, you know what I mean? You can see Willie McGinnis. So they starting to bring in the Hall of Famers who represent it and who have respect, so the players of now can get some jewels on what to do, what not to do, and how to carry yourself. But before, when it was ahead, this generation just had to try to figure it out for themselves. But now, in baseball, you see before those games start, they bring out all the OGs who got busy. In football, they bring out all the OGs who got busy. And I think that's dope. Let the young guys rock. But, it ain't nothing wrong with doing a little segment on, cats before speaking. Because when you go to Mac, look at all the problems when he won that Grammy or whatever the award for hip-hop. Now, when he came out with his new stuff, he came right back around on the Tonight Show, and who we had up there? We had Melly Mel up there. We had Rozelle up there. And you could see and feel the hip-hop. And you know Melly Mel is still built in Diesel. So those guys was repping, which took the song, you know, which gave the whole look a bigger and better look.
Word. That's dope.
So I don't know if you're caught that, you know, I don't get involved with the politics, but I was aware that when they won the award, you know, people felt that it should have went a different way.
Yeah.
So now when he came back around with his new material, he picked up Rozelle. He picked up Melly Mel. And there was another one. There was somebody else up
Kumo
there.
D.
I know when I was Kumo D. No question. Exactly.
Kumo D.
And everybody was looking tight, sharp, representing. Nobody was looking sluggish.
Yeah. That's what's up.
And you talking about OGs, we just learned the lesson. Like, we're still learning. Here's a perfect example. I'll keep it 100. We had a major show in Indiana this weekend, all right? We got to the airport, snowstorm in Chicago. So Chicago airport shut down. Me and E's like, okay. We get to Chicago, we got to sit on the runway for 3 hours because of the delays. Kumo D was the only one who flew in the night before because he knew the weather forecast. So that's what we got out of all of that. So when you're going back home with the L, when you're waking up the next morning and, because people are doing real dope stuff out there with hip-hop. This was a huge concert in Maryville, Indiana, and the venue was in the hotel.
Wow.
So even though we didn't make the show, when we woke up in the morning to catch the plane, fans were still downstairs for the autograph. But the moral to the story, to me and Eric, Kumo D had to know something because he flew in the day before. And we didn't have the little elf in our team watching the weather forecast in Chicago.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
So I say that to say this, even at our level, we're still learning. So that goes to show, for the cats who's right there, because you're not going to be hot your whole life. So you can't just rely on your record sales and your shows now. While the light's on you, build different entities. Get plan B, C, and D in effect. Like when we came with EPMD, we didn't just sit there. We bought in K-Solo. We bought in DOS Effects. We bought in Redman. We created the Hit Squad. We came in with the fisherman hat, the Timbs, the Carhartt jeans.
Yeah.
And then we really rapped and we stayed true to our music.
Well,
So
I remember
the
that.
the Benz, you know what I'm saying?
sitting on the Benz and the IROC V's,
Word.
Everything has its limits, and you got to be careful. You be at the party shaking the hiney.
Yeah.
Well, I think we had a great,
Awesome.
awesome chopping it up.
Man, it was definitely a pleasure chopping it up with you, man. It's an honor to have you in this chopping it up session right here.
I feel legendary right now.
I feel schooled. I feel like I just went to school, yo.
And big shout out to Spank, because again, through communication and people and being out there, yo, P, I'm there. Day before Thanksgiving, I'm definitely down to do it,
Word. That's what's up. Shout out Spank.
Word.
NC, Rally.
Spank.
Word. That's the homie right there.
Yeah. Word, man. That's what's up.
No doubt.
But like I said, thank you for calling in and taking that time out to spend with us and educating us and our listeners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We really appreciate it, and hopefully sometimes we can work in the future together and do something or even do another interview on a different topic or something like that.
Yeah, we should be rocking every 3 months, every 4 months, just to tighten it up. So, boom.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be no gap, new music coming out, new touring. So, I'm always open to speak and, spread the knowledge because this is big, man. And big shout out to Connect Radio Show. Big shout out to Chase. Big shout out to CM. It's only us. CMB. Now let me stop.
That's what's up, man.
So I thank you guys,
Yeah, but thank you, man.
No problem, man. So we'll connect with you again, man. We'll put the word out and we'll do this again, definitely.
Okay, my Twitter handle is PMD of EPMD, and my website is parishsmith.com if you want to get up with me, and my Instagram is PMD_Mike_Doc all day. You got to chill.
Cool.
All right, y'all have a happy holiday, a happy, safe Thanksgiving holiday, and let's just keep moving forward and representing this hip-hop culture. Just stay true to yourself. That's what this is about.
You already, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you, man.
Okay, y'all stay up, man.
Already,
you too.
respect.
You're listening to Highly Unique Radio.